If you've been asking yourself if you can solve your dog's separation anxiety without a trainer, the answer is hardly. In this video, I'm going to explain why you need professional help and what type of professional is more likely to help. So, I'd like to begin by saying that separation anxiety isn't naughtiness. It's not misbehavior, although it often looks like it. It's not disobedience or just who your dog is. Many clients have asked me, um, could this be just who my dog is? And no, it isn't. Separation anxiety is actually a mental illness, but it shows itself in emotional ways, such as your dog panicking when you're not with them, but it also shows itself in very typical behaviors, such as barking, howling, destroying, trying to escape, etc. So, if the problem was naughtiness, you would just need to do some obedience training with your dog. Same thing with disobedience, same thing with misbehavior. Now, when you're dealing with a mental disease that shows itself in emotional ways, this means that there's no point in trying to solve the barking, solve the howling, the destruction. You have to start by changing your dog's emotional state. In other words, they need to learn to become emotionally independent from you, and that can't be forced. And they need to learn to feel safe, even if you're not with them. And that is something that requires a structured approach. When it comes to solving separation anxiety, you have to do all the right things for your dog. And believe me, dogs, just like us, are different. What works for a dog might not work for another dog. Some dogs will do really well if they have access to a window and, looking out the window and seeing the birds and people actually distracts them. And other dogs, um, looking out the window can actually trigger anxiety. They go into vigilant mode, they're just on the lookout. When are you coming back? When are you coming back? So, this is one example of certain things working for some dogs and not working for other dogs. Now, what happens when you look for tips online or when you get advice from people who are full of good intentions, but they're not qualified to help you? What happens is that, first of all, you're not getting the full picture. You're not getting a full structured plan that is adapted to your dog. And also, you might be trying things that actually make their separation anxiety worse. So these are the main reasons why you actually need a professional. If you want progress not to stall, if you want to avoid making mistakes, then get guidance from a professional. They can assess your dog. They can tell exactly what the problem is, how severe it is. They will ask you all the right questions to determine what will and will not work with your dog. And then they will support you in the process. It's not as though they will just hand out a behavior plan and there you are on your own, just implement it. No, it doesn't work that way, because as you're working with your dog, it may be necessary to make adjustments, especially if progress has come to a stall. And you may wonder, okay, what is going on here? What is not working? What needs to change? And once again, a professional is the person who has the skills to help you make these adjustments and also to support you. Because I know that being the parent of an anxious dog is actually very challenging for you too. It's also demanding for you. And you can have somebody just tell you, do this, this, and that, and the next thing for your dog, and everything will be fine. But then you might not even feel supported in the process. you may feel that you're making mistakes, and if you're on your own, who are you going to comment with about those mistakes? Who is going to either guide you or validate that you're doing the right thing? So that's why I say solving separation anxiety without a trainer is hardly a possible thing. Now, you also need to look for the right professional. There are dog trainers who do obedience training, and they can do a great job of obedience training your dog, but they're not qualified to handle behavior issues. And so the best people to help you would be either a veterinary behaviorist, because they can access, diagnose your dog. They can create a plan tailored to your dog, and they may even prescribe medication if they feel that it's absolutely necessary and if you agree to it. The other professional who can help you is a professional dog behavior consultant. Those people have got formal education in animal behavior, not only on obedience training techniques. So I hope you find this video helpful. And if you would like to know more about separation anxiety, you can either go down to the description and get access to a free training video. And in that video, I talk about the common causes of anxiety, common symptoms, and some steps that you can take to start helping your dog right away. Or you can, or both, you can hit the subscribe button and follow us and have access to all our training videos. Our channel is all about anxiety problems and separation anxiety in dogs. Take care.